What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Forgo. And today we're going to see just how strong Emma Frost is on an account with 25% Pierce and about 126% energy attack. And I did upgrade her build quite a bit. Now she has 51,000 energy attack. She has pretty much max attack stats except for her critical rate. And I might end up even maxing out that a little bit later. If her dodge was maxed out, it actually would add a little bit of survivability. And this is not the optimal build at all. I do believe if I changed my obelisk on her, she'd actually be even stronger if I did. Now, she does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Odin's Blessings, and then all of her energy attack gurus are at Mythic, so I do got a bit of love into the character. Of course, all of her skills are 6, then she has a fully awakened power of angry offset. We don't need to talk about her skills, guys. We've mentioned that in the last video. And then I am running a mighty CTP of energy. Now, this isn't the best rolled CTP of energy. This is just adding an additional Pierce by 4%. Which isn't a tremendous amount, right? But it does have the 200% damage proc. And Emma is proc friendly, but the bad thing about a proc, at least with Emma, is you can do your tier 3 every other rotation, but there's a high chance that you're going to miss your proc. And I'll show you guys that in a second. Sometimes it hits, and if it hits, it's insane. But a lot of times it's very inconsistent, and you'll miss your proc sometimes. You know, I actually lose damage. I actually do more damage when I do my tier 3 like every other 3 rotations or every 3 rotations instead of trying to do it every 2 rotations, because whenever I do the every 2 rotations, I tend to miss the proc quite a bit because I can't enter into my tier 3. I'll show you that in a second. As far as, you know, how the rotation is, I have changed it up a little bit. So what you can do is you can actually run up to your boss. You got to make sure you're up close and go 3, 5, 1, and then 4, okay? As soon as that 4 finishes, and you want to hit your 4 or 2, I'm sorry, and then your 1. So it's 3, 5, 1, 4, right? 3, 5, 1, 4, okay? Once the 4 finishes, you're going to enter your 2, 1. I didn't enter the 2 right there, but 2, 1 after that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go 3, 5, 1, 4, tier 3. If you're trying to do it every 2 rotations. But I'm warning you, if you do that with a proc, there's a lot of times where you're trying to hit that tier 3, you're sitting there tapping it, and it won't engage. The tier 3 needs to have a certain percentage on it before it actually works. Even at 60%, whenever the tier 3 says 60% on it, it still sometimes won't quite engage. Your finger will be hitting it, but it won't engage. At least on my devices, that's what's happening. So what I tend to do is I just go 3, 5, 1, 4. I'll do that twice, right? I'll do 3, 5, 1, 4. This is the safe rotation. 3, 5, 1, 4 twice. And then on the 3rd rotation, I'll also use my co-op. Whenever you do your co-op, she actually does her 5th skill, which actually does a lot of hits. So what I like to do is I go 3, 5, co-op, tier 3. Okay? You don't need to hit the 4th skill. It doesn't give it any attack buffs, anything like that. And I do feel like you're going to do more damage when you put the proc on the tier 3. Now, if we were running a CTP of Judgment, you could easily do the tier 3 every 2 rotations. And that's why I say that I don't think this is the optimal obelisk for her. It's a good obelisk, but it's not the best. But she can go fairly high and world boss with it. Emma does got a lot of power. I do feel that she's going to be more suited for PvP. Unfortunately, well, I mean, unfortunately for me, you guys know I'm more about PvE, but for all you PvP players, I mean, I think she's a pretty big standout. The thing about Emma is that she's a very expensive character. You know, she's a crystal wall character. You got to spend crystals to level up her uniform, and her uniform options are pretty much trash. Like, these things are trash, guys. These uniform options are, they're bad, right? None of these, you don't want to level up any of these uniforms, really, right? You know, the last one, Miles here, it's a decent uniform, but he doesn't have a tier 3, he doesn't have an awakened skill, so it's kind of pointless to really level it up. And that's kind of the thing that sucks about this character, is that her uniform options suck. She's a very expensive character to level up, so whether or not she's going to be worth it for you, I mean, as far as PvE, I don't think she's worth it. Not really. I mean, obviously, if you love Emma, you should always level up the characters you love. But as far as PvE, there's other characters that are just as strong as her, that are, you know, cheaper than her. You're not going to spend all that money, and they're going to be way more free to play than her in that respect. But she is strong. So let me, whoops, I didn't mean to click on uniform option. Let me jump into World Boss and show you guys what happens whenever you do the every other rotation run here, right? We'll just use this team up right here. And we'll just throw in some, well, wait a minute. We'll just throw in some strikers here. Ah, crap. Let me see. Ignore dodge, ignore dodge. She already has ignore dodge on her CTP. And we'll just give a couple, there we go, right here. That'll work. And I'll show you guys what happens here. Now we're actually going to go higher than stage 29 for the clear. I'm going to show you guys. And we can even do a little quick comparison between her and Thena, so you get an idea how strong she is. 3-5, 1-4. And the proc stays really like where it belongs, and then go 2-1 afterwards. All right, now I'm going to try to do this I'm going to try to hit the tier 3 every other rotation. So 3-5, 1-4, tier 3. And yeah, we actually missed the proc on the tier 3. I can tell by the damage that we're actually doing. And that's what I mean, guys. Like, even if you're fast, sometimes that tier 3 will not engage quick enough. And we're getting caught in tornadoes. This is actually an Achilles heel for Emma. She gets caught in tornadoes really badly because she only gets that invincibility for 3 seconds on the 4th skill. So she actually gets entangled quite a bit. It's pretty annoying. And she also gets knocked back. See right there, I was tapping the tier 3, tapping it, and the proc already engaged. So we actually missed our tier 3, right? So we'll do one more little rotation here. One more little rotation. 3-5, 1-4. Okay, so in 1 minute, we got down to the bottom of the 45th bar. Now let me show you how much damage she does whenever I just do it, you know, the tier 3 on 3 rotations. And you're going to notice, I mean, it's not like a huge difference. All right, here we go. And this is just a much safer rotation to do. I still hit the 2 and the 1 afterwards. It's just kind of my habit. I mean, she gets knocked back left and right because she doesn't have immunity to guard break. It's freaking annoying. Okay. All right. Here we go. Nice. 3-5 and down. We're going to hit our 2-1 real quick here. Oh, stay in there, stay in there. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. There we go. And as you guys can see, whenever you keep the proc where it belongs, you're going to do a lot more damage. It's way better than trying to do the tier 3 every other rotation with a damage proc. Now, if you're playing with a CTB or Judgment, it's a different world, right? It's a completely different world. But look at that, guys. You know, we did 4 bars more in the same amount of time because we were able to keep the proc where it belonged the entire time. Right? It's not always the best to do the tier 3 every other rotation. It depends on the character, right? It depends on their delayed skills. If they have delayed skills, there's a lot of little variables that come into play. In Emma's case, I just find that she does more damage with the damage proc by playing it this way, by playing her this way. So we got down to the middle of the 41st bar. Let's see what Thena does, okay? Thena's got a mighty CTP of energy on her also. She also has some Odin's Blessings, but she doesn't have as much, she uses physical attack instead of energy attack, and I got about 40% more energy attack than I do physical attack, but Thena does have the leadership, but that is a part of her kit. But this is just going to give you an idea of how strong Emma is, because we all know that Thena is actually quite powerful. Thena's also got a much larger accumulation than what Emma does too. All right, we need to do that again because I accidentally clicked on Emma right away. I'm just in the habit of clicking on her. My bad, my bad. Let's do that again. Now, Thena's kind of the same way. You know, you can do the rotation every 2 rotations if you want, but I'll find she's got the same problem as Emma, where she will trigger the proc early. So I'm just going to play her the exact same as what I did Emma. We're going to do a tier 3 every 3 rotations here. There we go. Because Thena's tier 3 will set off the proc early as well, just like Emma's will. And the proc came way late, but look at that damage, my friend. Look at that damage. Now remember, we got down to the bottom of the 41st bar with Emma. Proc, 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 no proc. Not bad. Not bad, no proc. That's kind of the thing about doing this off the cuff. So we didn't get a proc one time, which is a couple bars right there. But as you guys can see, right? I mean, we're down to the 46th bar. Emma actually did more damage, but remember, my Emma was using Thena's leadership, that 50% attack buff, right? Thena can actually use another support. I'm not saying that Emma's stronger than Thena. whenever Athena has her supports, you know, she can use White Fox and all this. Athena is actually going to do better because she has better support options, and she can use 2 supports because she has a self-buffing leadership. Emma doesn't have that. Athena has all the advantages, but this does give you an idea of how strong Emma is. Emma is powerful. She does have some really, really good damage. But again, I think she's going to shine a lot more in PvP. And guys, I've already tested her in PvP with this build, with this Obelisk. And she can put in work with this without even having immunity to guard break. She can actually get it done already. So I'll show you a run that I did with her. And this is actually stage 34 against Null. And this is pretty much about cap for her with the build that I currently have, right? And I'm going to do the exact same thing that I showed you guys a second ago, where we're going to do the tier 3 on the 3rd rotation. And again, you can do it every other rotation, but you will find that it will trigger the proc early, man. I just find I do way more consistent damage. I do more damage when I do it the way that I'm showing you right now, at least for me. But with a CTB of Judgment, oh yeah, you're going to be doing the tier 3 every other rotation. You're going to do a lot more damage because of it. Plus, whenever the proc's engaged, whenever you're doing your 2nd or 3rd skill, you do a little bit more damage also because you'll still have a proc that's already engaged. The CTB of Judgment really will be the best PvE Obelisk for her, at least that's what I believe, especially since, you know, all of her skills are mind damage. Oh yeah. But she is very easy to play. She is proc friendly if you play her a certain way. And her survivability is godly. You know, with the decreased damage received by 85% on that 3rd skill, and it lasts for the entire 10-second duration. So you pretty much have it up all the time unless you end up running around all over the place. Emma can survive. That 30% heal that she has, I mean, on top of the decreased damage received, she's just tanky as hell. You don't have to worry about toxic meteorites. You don't have to worry about getting hit too much. You don't have to worry about certain purple attacks hitting her. And at the final phase of this boss, against Null, she can tank his attacks, which is crazy. And honestly, she needs that because she struggles a bit like Psylocke at the end, where she doesn't do quite enough damage. I really wish, like, as strong as she is, I really wish they'd give her a little bit more accumulation. I wish this would have been a 0.1%. That would have been a whole lot better. It wouldn't have made her godly, but it would have made her a little bit stronger. And honestly, considering the price of this character for PvE content, okay, PvE, I think it's pretty expensive for what you're actually getting. Like, she's solid and she's a well-rounded character, and that's a very good thing. But is she worth, you know, all those crystals and then having to spend all those crystals to level up her uniform, or spend $40 for the mega uniform ticket? Not for PvE. I don't think so. I don't think she's worth it for PvE. For PvP, I would say there's a good argument for it. I'd say there's a good argument for it because she is solid in PvP, guys. Like, again, with my build, she was taking out Dooms, Sentries. I mean, Spider-Man was really the only one giving her a bit of a headache because of his iframes, because he negates the decreased damage received that she actually has on her 3rd skill, and he can just one-shot her, and he has the type advantage, right? He's like the one character that really makes it difficult for her in PvP, but everybody else, and like, she was one-shotting Sentries and Dooms, and I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. That 3rd skill of hers that has the ignore iframe, that thing is mean. It is vicious in PvP. Wow. But it doesn't mean she isn't good in PvE. It's just, I don't think she's as good as she should be for her price. Like, I think she should be a little bit better because, again, I showed you guys like that little short comparison between her and Athena. And I'm telling you, Athena with the right buffs and all, she's going to do better than Emma. She just has better buffs and self-buffing leadership. And I mean, that's a part of her kit, and that's just the way she is. So I mean, and plus, you know, Emma, you know, being a mutant, she doesn't have really any, I mean, unless Dazzler gets an awakened skill, she doesn't really have any huge supports like, you know, what White Fox can give for someone like Athena. I mean, it's kind of a downfall of mutants, is they don't have as good as supports as other characters. You know, Netmarble, I don't know, they're kind of shafting the mutants a little bit when it comes to this. But I mean, but another thing about Emma that's really, really nice is you can play very aggressive. You don't have to worry about, look at this. I don't care about that purple attacks. I don't care. She just barely loses any life at all because that decreased damage received. And then when you do lose a little bit of your life, you just heal right up. It's something that is nice about her. Like if you was to compare her to someone like Psylocke, that is a big benefit. Honestly, having characters that are easy to play, fairly proc friendly, and have insane survivability does go a long way for players. In that respect, maybe she would be worth it for you in PvE because she really I mean, she won't die, guys. Like, I mean, she can die, but I mean, I just face tank and face tank and face tank, and I don't worry about a thing because her survivability is just godly. Her damage isn't godly. It's good. It's not godly, but it's very, very good. But her survivability is godly, right? And you see how long this is taking. This is stage 34. We got a max team. We're using Ebony Maw for the 40% increase of energy attack, the 35% increase to universal types, right, which goes against Null. And then we got Cyclops, who has a CTP of Insight and the 30% increased energy attack from his passive, right? This is a pretty maxed out team. And you saw us, we just tanked that attack. No problem with Emma. We barely took any damage at all. And you guys can see, I mean, she just comes down to the wire. She really struggles in this last part of the phase. But again, if you had a CTP of Judgment, she would do so much better because you could do the tier 3 every other rotation and do it accurately, always keeping your procs where they belong. And look at this. Right? I mean, 1 second to spare, guys. Stage 34, 1 second to spare. I mean, she's strong. She's got a lot of power. You know, it's no joke that she can do stage 34. But keep in mind, I mean, if you have accounts that don't have a whole lot of Pierce, right? I got 25%. I got 126% energy attack, right? I got 6 Odin's Blessings on this character. You're not going to be able to do stage 34, right? You know, she's a blast, and maybe you want her for the blast requirement. But honestly, I mean, you got other characters like Cersei, Sharon Rogers, that can do extremely well, that are a whole lot cheaper to level up. So in my personal humble opinion, and I hate saying this, I think for PvE, she's solid, but I don't think she's really worth all of the investment unless you love Emma for PvE. And I will be showing you guys some PvP runs with her. Let me know what kind of obelisk you guys would like to see on her for PvP. I think the CTP Regeneration would actually be the best, especially since she has native penetration in her kit. She gets a 40% extra HP. But I could slap a CTP of Greed on her. I don't think this is the best choice. I think it's actually better for universal types. And then, of course, we got the CTP of Destruction. I'm not putting the Brilliant CTP of Destruction on her. It's way too expensive, and I actually need that obelisk on other characters currently. So let me know what y'all think about Emma and PvE. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.